This episode of Fleet Equipment's On the Road is brought to you by Wix Filters. Visit wixfilters.com for more information and enjoy the show. Not content with one 15-liter big bore engine offering, Cummins recently unveiled two iterations of its 2017 X15 engine lineup, the X15 Efficiency Series and the X15 Performance Series. Fleet Equipment is jumping behind the wheel and putting the new engines through their paces on this episode of On the Road. Hi, I'm Jason Morgan, editor of Fleet Equipment Magazine. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get lost in the phone calls, emails, blogs, likes, tweets, and more. So I'm hitting the road to talk to the industry's best and brightest. This is Fleet Equipment's On the Road. I'm at the Transportation Research Center in East Liberty, Ohio, to test drive the Cummins X15 engines and talk with Tim Proctor, technical leader, heavy-duty engineering, Cummins Inc., about the differences between the two engines and what fleets can expect from the new offering. I also caught up with Fleet Equipment contributing editor Jack Roberts, who shared his thoughts during the test drive. The X15 Efficiency Series will be the engine of choice for the majority of line haul and regional fleets. It offers a range of 400 to 500 horsepower with 1,850 pound-feet of peak torque available at 1,000 RPM. The X15 Performance Series packs a range of 485 to 605 horsepower with peak torque of 2,050 pound-feet for applications like heavy haul vehicles that need that added oomph to get the load rolling. Tim breaks down the details for us.
So obviously they're two engines based on the same platform, so there's a lot of commonality between them, but there's some key differences which help us deliver the performance on the higher performance engines, but also optimize the efficiency of the lower ratings in the Efficiency Series. The Performance Series has a different compression ratio, slightly lower compared to the Efficiency Series. A higher compression ratio is always better for fuel economy, but when we want to get the most power out of the engine, a high compression ratio can actually have some reliability impacts because of the high cylinder pressures that you get. So balancing that off, when you want the high performance, you can't have the compression ratio that you want for the optimum fuel economy. And similarly with the turbocharger, with the lower ratings, maximum fuel economy, the amount of air that we're trying to flow is less than the amount of air that we're flowing to 600 horsepower. And so you could come up with one turbocharger that would do the whole thing, but it would be a compromise at both ends. And what we've actually done is separated that. We've got a different compressor and different tuning for the variable geometry turbine on the efficiency versus the performance, which gives us the ability to flow the air we need when we need it, but not pay a penalty from the point of view of efficiency loss.
I jumped in a Kenworth T680 with Jack Roberts, who had the chance to preview the Efficiency Series engine earlier this year, but still came away impressed.
Plenty of power to get the vehicle moving, and very, very stingy with fuel while it's moving. So it's a really nice little combination of efficiency and power. It's accelerating really, really nicely. We're loaded with about 65,000 pounds in the back, so a significant load, but it's not having any trouble whatsoever getting going. The engine brake engages almost instantly as soon as you take your foot off the throttle. It is very aggressive, works really, really well. And that's the whole integration package that Cummins talks about.
Powertrain integration is key to maximizing truck efficiency, and while there are efficiency gains to be had from the engine alone, offerings like Adept, Smart Coast, and Predictive Cruise make it possible to gain an additional 3% fuel economy. Here Jack walks us through the Smart Coast functionality.
As you can figure out from the name, this is a fuel economy enhancement feature where the transmission basically shifts into neutral when you have any sort of a downward grade that the AMT can pick up. Right now we're at 500 RPMs. We're just coasting along. Very smooth system. It engages instantly, easily, automatically when you're in cruise control. And we're maintaining our speed without any problem. Pretty much gravity at the moment is doing all the work. Now we're coming up on a little incline here. So I expect the engine to kick on at any second, and we should hear it come back in, and we should see our RPMs start to climb back up. and there goes the engine. We're back up to about 1200 RPMs. We're maintaining our forward motion. Everything worked perfectly without any input from me as the driver whatsoever.
Exact fuel economy gains are always tough to pin down due to a wide variety of applications and duty cycles. But we put the question to Tim Proctor for a better perspective.
In terms of the Efficiency Series and the fuel efficiency gains, what can fleet managers expect for like a typical long haul, over the road kind of application? How much efficiency can they gain with the new engine?
Yeah, so it really, I mean, obviously it does depend upon the duty cycle and the application, but a typical line haul, sort of LTL over the road, over in sort of flattish terrain, on a like-for-like swap with today's product, it's probably going to see between 2.5% and 3% fuel economy improvement, that order of magnitude. Yeah. But of course, the reality is that the trade cycle is much longer than that. So as engineers, we've all been comparing ourselves with today's product. The reality is that customers that are making a purchase decision are probably making a purchase decision against a product that's 3 or even 5 years old. And so the improvement that customers will see when they trade out their equipment is significant.
Yeah.
Into double digits in many cases.
I see. Is that efficiency gain assuming the Smart Advantage spec?
So on a like-for-like basis, the base engine is just providing us that level of fuel economy improvement. But if you were to go from a manual product that's geared for maybe 1400, 1350 RPM at cruise, with no ADEPT technology, to a 17 product with the base engine improvements and a Smart Advantage and ADEPT, the improvement's going to be somewhere in the 6 to 8% region.
Yeah. Cruise on over to feontheroad.com for additional info on the X15 series and more episodes to feed your binge-watching craving.